Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Dan Schaefer.
And good afternoon. I'm Dia Riley. All new at noon. We are hearing in detail the brave actions of first responders who wound up in the middle of a terrible tragedy. A couple, male and female nurses on a movie date, instead found themselves in the middle of a scene like at an ER. Our Laura Harris was just at a ceremony recognizing this couple. Good afternoon, Laura.
And Dia, we had it at a school here in Spring Hill. They had to bring it to this auditorium because so many people showed up. It was a ceremony from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. Basically, they were honoring people in the department, and then they were honoring people from the community, and those two nurses, one of them. And I had the pleasure of speaking with them just about an hour and a half ago. They were so humble and so nice, and they kept telling me they were just doing what they were trained to do. An applause for heroes.
Two nurses, when they came out and they had the blood on them, and you could see they're exhausted because of what they just went through.
Derek Friedhoff and Jenny Manera, both nurses at Bay Area hospitals, honored by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office today for their efforts to save Chad Olson's life.
You know, it's in those worst of times where you see the best of people, and they really stood up.
Deputies say Olson was shot in a Wesley Chapel movie theater on January 13th by retired police captain Curtis Reeves during an argument. Investigators say Reeves was upset Olson wouldn't stop texting on his cell phone during the movie. Friedhoff and his girlfriend were in that same theater, springing into action as they heard that shot.
It wasn't really anything that we had to think about. We just jumped right in and provided the care.
Friedhoff says he thought it was just a warning shot at first, but soon he realized Olson was in desperate need of help, clinging to life on the theater floor. The nurses, dating for 2 years, took action.
When I saw the person collapse, that's when I, assessed, the scene and decided it was, safe enough where I can go provide care to the victim.
Despite their rigorous efforts, Olson died from that gunshot wound. And although they're being hailed as heroes and say they appreciate the recognition, they continue to say they were just doing their jobs.
It's a trauma experience, but we came from a trauma hospital before too, so it's like,
we were trained for it. We knew. In the moment, it was, like I said, it was instinctive, and we provided care that we needed to.
And even though they say they've had this training, they knew what to do, you still have to think this had to be a scary situation. Still a gun in that theater. They weren't sure if it was safe or not to get up out of their seats and render help to Chad Olson. But both of them, they told me in detail, they say, you know what? They couldn't even think about being scared. All they could think about was trying to save a man's life. Live in Spring Hill, Laura Harris, ABC Action News.